Couch
Co-op is full of douchebags.
Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.
Hello, Couch Co-opers, Couch Potatoes, and Couch Codependents. This is the Couch Co-op Show. I'm Ian, and I got Dave on the couch with me tonight.
Woo!
Just the two of us. Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try.
You ought to know. That's a nod, because Jarrod is at Alanis Morissette tonight.
Yep.
So he's not here. And it's also been a couple weeks since we've recorded. We apologize. Just, summer. Things are going on.
Busy. It's
Busy.
been warm here and nice in
Yeah.
Oregon, Washington.
When we're all doing things and we're not, not a normal work week, when we're depressed and we are aching to see each other, that Sunday night is like a requirement. When we are seeing each other all the time and it's summer and we just can't be bothered, then it's like, why record?
And when we drive for 20 plus hours in the same car, we have enough of each other's.
Right, exactly. So it's, we apologize that episodes have been a little slow this summer. But I am going back to work this week, so I'm sure that it'll start. The uptick is coming back.
I was going to get my tiny violin out, but I'm getting the big one. You get the full
big
one.
one, the full violin.
Yeah, some real sympathy, not the little.
It's going to be interesting, but we don't need to go into that. Yeah. How you doing, Dave?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good. What is it? It's a weekend. I have had the hardest time keeping track of what days it is.
The joy of a man on summer holidays, eh?
I walked down into the band. I hung out with the band today because they're getting ready to perform at the Skamania County Fair, headlining the Skamania County Fair.
Nice.
And I was talking, I was like, I could not remember what fucking day it was. Oh, yeah, it's Sunday. It's like, where am I? Where am I in the week? Anyway, it's funny.
Well, I won't be able to make it for those. I'm going to England, so I'll be.
Yeah, you're going to be away.
For another couple of weeks.
It's kind of why I asked you the other night or the other day, like, where are you on August 25th? And you said you're coming home from England that day. It's like, that's too bad because you won't be up to hang out at the Indy car Grand Prix at Portland International Raceway, probably.
Probably not. It's that Sunday. I think
it's that Sunday. It's the 25th.
Yeah, because
I'm
kid starts high school the next day, so I'll probably have stuff to do.
Yeah.
Apart from the jet lag.
I don't know if I'm gonna go. I mean, I'm probably gonna go. It's not. Tony sent me. Tony's like, oh, here's the tickets. Are they the cool ones? Like, no, they're just the Grand Prix tickets. So you just get to get in because it's the actual race.
You have to buy your own beer.
I have to buy my own beer, and I was like, well, what about the other tickets I got? I don't need to go to the race. I could see. It's like, I don't know, man. That'll be closer to the race. I'll let you know if I can get those. But I'm letting you know a month ahead of time that I can get you these. It's like, all right, I'll take them to the actual race. I'll go to the actual race, which is cool. So
yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
So obviously. I gotta find someone to go with me. But anyway, no one cares about IndyCar. They care about video games.
Yeah, this is not an IndyCar podcast.
And we wouldn't make any money if it was. We might make some money if it was an F1 podcast, but F1 is on summer break, so
the new hotness.
Nothing to talk about there. Video games. I believe. I mean, Jared's away, but Dave did some homework in his absence. Do you have what happened this day in gaming history?
Yeah, so 38 years ago in 1986.
38 years ago.
Two games that I remember playing a lot of and really enjoying. Like, they're obviously not in the arcade so much, but like on home computer systems. Bubble Bobble and Rampage.
Oh, classics.
Yeah, like two real good classic simple like arcade games that I just remember playing a lot of and really enjoying.
I don't know if I ever played it I don't know if I ever played Bubble Bobble in the arcade. I definitely played Rampage in the arcade.
Yeah, I've played Rampage in the arcade. I think I'm the same. I think I've only ever played Bubble Bobble, which is really funny because I'm in the retro computing group and someone was playing that at the last meeting. So I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And then for some reason, it's just really kind of
Dead.
dead. Yeah, you get up to like there's an Armored Core Last Raven on the PlayStation 2 19 years ago in Japan.
Interesting.
Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness on the GameCube again, Japan. Just a bunch of games that never really played, you know.
I think that comes to that just a part of the whole fact that like summer used to be a big dead zone for video games. Ultimately,
Yeah, yeah. The only other one that caught my eye was a game you really love, Fall Guys on the
Oh, I love that.
PlayStation and
So good.
PC came out 4 years ago.
So awesome. My favorite.
I wonder if anyone even plays that anymore.
Scotlandia, good old Mappy Man.
Yeah, I could see Mappy Man just.
He was into
yeah.
that game for a long time. I think. Seems like his kind of game. Free. It's a free game.
Yeah, I played it a little. It was fun for a few minutes.
No, it's like that other fucking stupid ass game you guys used to make me play. What are the games? The ones where you the sports sport something
Sports ball.
No, not sports ball, but like had different like jousting and like some weird like movement.
Oh,
It was really obnoxiously dumb. I hated it. I don't know. You guys would play it on the PlayStation. I think it was a PS3 game. No, it had to be a PS4 game. It's like some kind of sports. Like there's different competitions you could do. One was like jousting and like stupid shit. I don't know. Anyway,
sounds
it
like something I
sucked.
would like.
There's also the Lovers in a Space Time.
Oh yeah,
that was also that. It's like the same time period as that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I can't remember the game you're talking about. And then tomorrow in 2003, 21 years ago, Silent Hill 3 came out on the PlayStation 2, which I believe is the best of the Silent Hill games, but maybe I'm wrong.
Is it? I always thought 2 was the
Maybe
favorite.
2 is, but
2 is because that's the one.
Maybe 3 is the one that's really rare because it
has
came
to
out
be
later in the.
Because 2's the one they're remaking, I think, isn't it? I don't know.
Oh, and then Shemini on the Dreamcast 25 years ago came out in Japan.
Ha ha ha. All right,
You
there you
know.
go. There you go. The fun shit that happens in this day in gaming history.
And tomorrow.
And tomorrow.
So, August 4th and 5th.
This week of August, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the week of celebration for the Christy Southworth household. My wife's birthday, my anniversary, and then my birthday are all this week. So it's like this celebration of. I mean, we're old, so we don't really party like
You
we used to.
finally reached drinking age.
Yeah, I finally reached drinking age. Thanks, Dave. But anyway, yeah, thank you. This day in gaming history, August 4th. Tomorrow's the 5th, and the 6th is my birthday. Anyway, before we get to that, I guess
Happy
we need.
birthday.
I guess we don't have a beer battle. I mean, we're both drinking Stella
Yeah.
tonight.
Which one wins?
The beer of champions.
Stella.
Yeah.
It's got to be in the. I do prefer. We can have a quick beer battle.
I prefer
Can
it in
or
the bottle.
bottle.
I don't like the can version for some
Yeah,
reason.
neither do I.
Actually, I really love it on tap. But
yes, it is good on tap. So
yeah, the cans are weird. I don't know what it is about the cans.
yeah, it doesn't have quite that crispness. I feel like that it does on draft or in the bottle. So
There you go.
anyway, that's the
Everybody.
beer battle.
So then we're gonna kick it right back to Dave because hopefully he tried a demo.
Oh, I did.
Dr. Demo, what do you got for us?
So there's 3 chapters to this game.
3 chapters.
Yeah, and it's called it's by a company called Breakthrough Gaming LLC.
Breakthrough.
And if you like the game, you can buy it for the grand total of 99 cents.
The whole game? All 3 chapters?
99 cents a chapter.
Oh,
Don't
99
crazy,
cents
man.
a chapter, so like $3. $2.99.
Apparently, though, there's a platinum for each chapter. From what I believe. It's called Forgiveness RPG.
Forgiveness. Okay.
The first chapter.
All right.
And can you guess maybe what kind of theme this game has? Just from the name.
Wait, say it again.
Forgiveness RPG.
Forgiveness RPG. This was like a relationship RPG.
No,
No.
this game's release is part of Breakthrough Gaming's Bible video
Oh my
game
god.
Sundays. Purchase and play our new Christian themed video games releasing every Sunday morning in the PlayStation Store today.
So this is new. This is brand new.
No, this came out
Oh.
in February, I think. But
Big
about
hit.
Breakthrough Gaming. Breakthrough Gaming creates Christian themed entertainment products such as video games, animation, comics, and books. Needless to say, the best thing about this demo was the music.
Oh, okay.
The music was actually quite pleasant and
Some Christian
Right.
rock.
no, it was just like nice and good. But basically, it's a Zelda type game, and you meet a witch, and you're going to
Satanic.
cure your mum.
Okay.
And from what I believe, you basically tell her that Jesus is the way to cure your mum, not like some magic stone.
Oh my god.
Um,
Wild.
But you go the best part about it is like the music, like I say, was really good.
Mhm.
Or not really good, but it was like real. It was passable, and obviously they had some effort put into it. The graphics were bland, and the
Oh.
world had nothing in it. I mean, the like pixel art that is
Right.
what they're going for. Well, this is bad. But then you go into the fight bits, so it's kind of like you wander around and you can't see anything. It's just like random encounters, and the fights remind me of like really badly rendered Donkey Kong Country, like it took like they were rendered on an old 486 that would take like 10 hours to render a
Right.
frame, so it has very little detail. It's like this sphere with wings flapping, and the gameplay mechanic is terrible.
So
I was not.
you chose this just because you're like, oh my gosh, Bible game. This is why
Yeah.
you chose this. Right?
I was like, I've never played a Bible game.
So
I'm like-
even with the good music, they couldn't get you to pull the trigger on 99 cents.
Not even with the easiest platinum, I think was one of the reviews I saw for this. It was like,
Oh, easy platinum for 99 cents. That's always good.
yeah, 30 trophies and an easy platinum.
There's 30 trophies in all chapters or just the single chapter?
It's not quite clear. There's a
Oh,
couple
okay.
of YouTube videos that say, but I mean, $3, 30 video, and it's a pretty quick game from what I could tell because I got through the first chapter. I got through like the demo portion of it, and it was pretty quick.
Gotcha.
So,
I
but
wonder
yeah,
if there's like Christian or there's like churches out there like, hey, all these games are evil, but play this game. Like, could you
Yeah,
imagine being a kid and being like, hey, we got you a gift. We got you a game.
I always thought the PlayStation, the PlayStation store had some like relatively, quality control.
No.
Obviously not.
No,
I
because
mean-
there's so many like shitty mobile games and low bar. I think
True.
all the stores, like even the Nintendo store, is pretty low bar shit. Like, yeah, it's kind of funny.
So,
these
but
days.
if you do want if you have a moment, you should go to their website breakthroughgaming.com
Breakthrough.
and look at the quality of the art on the site. It's like going back to the 90s and the early web. I mean, it really is like a mishmash of fonts, styles, and like, it's got at least 5 different font sizes on the page.
Which one is
have you-
this supposed to be called?
Breakthrough
Yeah, but what is the name of the game?
Gaming.com. This one is Forgiveness RPG.
Oh, it's not even on the front.
It's on the second line of stuff on the main webpage.
Oh, here it is. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh boy, that's like a bad Nintendo. It's not even
Yeah.
a bad Nintendo port. It's just like yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
That's
you see what?
hilarious.
Isn't it like it is like an old website, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, the website sucks. I wonder if it's just by kids done by. Yeah, it's wild.
Maybe it's a mega church, and part of being in the mega church is you've got to buy the games.
This website started in 2003.
and it looks like it.
They've been, yeah, and it hasn't changed since.
It really is quite. It
Is
really
it-
is quite the
What
website,
platforms
isn't
is
it?
this on? Do we know?
PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Steam, Windows, Xbox, smartphones, and tablets.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's sweet.
Our church, Story One, Our Church, and Halloween. You can.
Dave, I'm gonna sign you up for the free mailing list.
Oh, thank you. That's just what I need.
Well, I mean, they're out there doing this. I guess that's cool. Any of these games?
I
look
mean,
better
yeah,
than this?
I tell you what, it gives you hope that you can put any old shit on
Yeah, right. Like
and get it on the PlayStation.
we should try and make
Store.
some stupid game like Ian
Between
shits in.
this and what was the other one, the sack racing simulator.
Dave, I got an idea for a game, and you got to figure out how to like make it for me. It's like
Yep.
the reverse of Space Invaders. You know how Space Invaders, you're like a little guy at the bottom and you shoot up at the aliens?
Yep.
We have Ian shits in a toilet, and you have Ian's ass up above, and I shit, and you try and land it in the toilet as it moves. See? It's like a brand new concept, but it's different. We could probably get that on PlayStation.
We probably could. We might have to make the turds like green or something. You know how they make zombie
Right.
games, no blood.
We at least get it
They
on
turn it
Steam.
green.
Hey, even if we just got it on Steam, I'd be fine with
It
that.
would be appropriate on Steam. We could even put some little Steam on it. You know.
Yeah, right. It's Steam exclusive. Yeah, the Steam exclusive has Steam. Anyway, yeah, this is a surprise. They have a lot of games. I feel like this has got to be like some kind of kid project or some like just
I mean,
really.
but if it's been going since 2003, and maybe it is, but yeah,
The games never got better though. You look at all the different games. None of them are like.
Yep.
They're all the same basic. Not good.
yeah, maybe it's just started as someone's high school thing, and like
2
They've got
decades
ri-
though.
a rich uncle or something that funds it. And I mean,
2 decades they've been doing it though. It's wild.
yeah, but think about all those people. You know, if you get everyone in your church to buy a copy, there's a couple hundred copies, and if you're in like some big, I wonder which kind of church it's associated with. You could sell thousands of copies, which
Oh, I like Zippy here. The Zippy the Circle, PC, PS4 version, Xbox version, Windows 10 version, iOS version, Android version, PC download version, or PC CD-ROM version.
oh yeah, there's a PC CD-ROM version of this game. I'm like,
It's like what? Let's burn
this is a whole of a rabbit hole. I mean, I could spend, you know.
We're giving him a lot of play. Yeah, it's breakthrough gaming. I mean, hey, do what you do.
Good luck to him, is what I say.
Yeah,
The
good,
challenge-
yeah, whatever.
The game wasn't for me, and I wouldn't play it.
It's probably not for a lot of people.
I would call it
But-
die. I didn't really get much of a Christian message from it, to be quite honest.
Oh, really?
So that was the other. It wasn't very preachy. It just wasn't very fun, and it wasn't very good.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, I didn't really see the Christian message in it, because you were going around killing things and just random encounters. I'm like, okay.
So it's basically a die, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely worth looking at the
Website.
gaming
The website is as a trip back
It's
in
a
time.
meme. Yeah, it is a trip back in time. I've not seen a website with that many different fonts and font sizes on it in a long time.
Yeah, that's
So.
interesting. It's it's cool. All right, well there you go.
Oh. Any of our listeners out there, you've got a game idea and you don't think you can get it on PlayStation 5, play this demo. I'm sure your game idea has got a good chance of being better.
Or
And if
change
you
the whole
execute
story
it, yeah.
to something Christian slanted, and then pitch it to them, and
Yeah,
they'll probably
maybe they'll
develop
publish
it for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
I mean, step one is make a good game. Step
Yeah.
two, or good game mechanic. Step two is to put a story to it. You don't have to have the story and then make the game.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, there you go. There's your buy, try, die for the week. Forgiveness RPG from Breakthrough Games. Very
Hey.
exciting.
I also have to say though, it's a 99-cent game.
There you
And
go.
props to them for putting a demo up of it.
And trophies. You get a shit ton of
And
trophies.
and
I
doing
mean,
trophy
if you're just a
support.
trophy hunter, I mean, you'll swallow that. I've
So-
spent $1.19 for a platinum trophy, so. I've spent $3.99 for a platinum trophy. I've spent $2.59 for a I do it. Come on, I do it. I don't know if I play this, but but usually my games have big titties in them, so like that's why I'm.
I also think that, the other funny thing about some of these demos I've been playing is I'm not digging deep for demos. I'm going to the PlayStation storefront and, scrolling down to the 5th to 6th line where they have the demos and maybe going across once or twice at most and just picking something that looks interesting in some way.
I did notice they did have a AAA game recently. I don't know if you're going to try it or download it, but Ronin is the kind of it's kind of like Ghost of Tsushima, kind of that Japanese open world. They dropped a demo for that recently, like a couple weeks ago. They're like, oh, it's a AAA. It's an actual AAA demo
Like
on the
a
PS.
demo with a game that people
Yeah, I know Ryan was interested in playing that game, but so I don't know if you're looking for something like actual game. That did drop, so be curious to hear your thoughts on that if you get around to playing it. But yeah, thank you, Dave, for playing that demo, for finding us the Lord.
Oh yeah,
in video games. It's been a while. It hasn't been since like Nintendo.
Yeah,
right.
I don't want to poo-poo the Christian thing, but it's like they always say like, oh, it's terrible when they try and mix entertainment and religion, and these guys just didn't succeed either. So it's like
mix whatever you want to mix.
Yeah.
I mean, most video game companies mix a lot of the woke culture that everyone is upset about. I mean, I like to be, liberal and open-minded, but like a lot of people tend to think that all the video game companies are too woke. So like, it's fine if a Christian company wants to make video games, make their version and do their thing.
Yeah,
Everyone has the right to whatever they want to make it within the boundaries of not being disgusting or racist or whatever.
Yeah, there was not. To be quite honest, like I say, this game there's nothing.
Listen, if you made a
good,
awesome Christian Bible video game, maybe people would be like, "Oh shit, that's not my thing," but holy shit, the game's fucking badass.
Yep. Yeah, you can always make a good game mechanic.
Like, you start as Jesus and you're resurrected from the cave, and like you press X to walk on water. I mean, come on, Call of Duty does about the same thing. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm making a mockery of something I shouldn't. I apologize to everyone out there. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just having a fun, jovial laugh. I apologize. All right, we should move on to I guess the main meat of the show, where I wanted to talk about. Well, I got some video game stuff to talk about. I got some beat lists and watch it. But I wanted to talk about some news before we jumped into some stuff. And we're gonna talk about Destiny quite a bit tonight. Again, surprise, surprise! This is the Destiny podcast. Yeah. But recently, Destiny announced that they are cutting 220 positions. Bungie was, and another. I don't know how many. I'm sure they disclosed how many, but another amount of people were going to be sucked into Sony to work with them, and all of this on the back of finding out today that Bungie has been not very good. Like, they've been like slowly sinking, and if it wasn't for Sony to come in and buy them, they were probably going to be there was like bankruptcy,
bought, basically, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's just like, for the longest time you just thought like Destiny was like this money making, just like this massive cash cow, and now you're hearing all this like kind of like news to me. I mean, I get that everyone like games are like costing more, and I get them having to cut positions, and like, the Lightfall DLC expansion wasn't super popular, but this new expansion, the Final Shape, has been hugely popular. But
the trouble is, I was reading though, that was the other thing today, that the Final Shape sales are lagging behind Lightfall sales.
Right, because I think that everyone's just kind of done. I mean, Tony Death hasn't even, like, if we're going to gauge, like, the biggest Destiny players we know, like, Tony Death hasn't even touched it. He's been playing that shitty fucking Korean game with the big tits, you know?
He will play any first-person shooter. And,
It's just,
like, Destiny's definitely up there on his top, like, tier, isn't it? Cool.
Yeah, I think the tits have won out. The nicely modeled boobies have won out over Destiny's. I mean, Final Shape brought me back, you know, back into it, which is wild that everyone is leaving it.
Well, I must admit, I beat the OG Destiny 2, like the first bit, and I never really went back. But I played enough Destiny 1 and enough of it. And when I've come back to it, I just didn't. I didn't feel like playing it too much. But one of the things that really put me off, to be quite honest, was just all the different menus and gear and like rewards.
It's very complicated.
Yeah, it's all very complicated, and to be quite honest, there's so many things that it kind of dilutes it in some respects. It's like any piece of gear you get, it just doesn't feel very special.
I agree.
Well,
I
at
mean,
least to me.
Well, no, I was with you there 100%, Dave. Like when with you with Destiny 2, when I first played it, I played through the main kind of campaign, and I just felt like, maybe this just isn't for me anymore. And I bailed on it. I didn't play it. And then, obviously through the years, a lot of DLCs come out, and PSN started giving away, when PSN purchased Bungie, they started giving away their DLC for free on Plus. And I would kind of tap in and check it out, and I'd be like you. I'd feel like so lost. Just, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing? I have no fucking clue.
I think that's one of the good things they did, though, with the Final Shape, was they did that kind of like
separate
30-minute, 1 hour kind of like rundown if you wanted to get the story from the previous stuff, so you could kind of get up to speed quickly.
What do I also appreciate? Well, also knowing that the Final Shape was coming, it kind of made me want to, because I still have this deep love for Destiny and everything we did in Destiny, and like the idea of them actually finally wrapping all of that up just seemed kind of like this romantic thing that I felt like I needed to be a part of.
And it still plays really well. When we played it last night, it's like there's very few shooters that can compare with the feeling of it.
But like Lightfall, huge miss. Like when I finally like started getting ready for Final Shape, I started playing all the back DLC stuff to get prepared. And while the other ones are Witch Queen and I forget what the other one's called. That's pretty good, but Lightfall is just an abysmal, just an awful. It's just like not fun, poorly designed, just like. And I get why players are like, why would we want to come back to this? Like, it's just so not fun. So, but I wasn't playing it for that. I pre-ordered Final Shape, so I was just playing the other stuff just to get used to all the, figure out the menus again, figure out everything. So like I wasn't like completely clueless. But Final Shape is like this whole other beast. It's like this own kind of thing, and I really fell in love with it. So I'm really back into it hardcore. So then to hear all this news, losing all these people and some of them getting sucked into Sony, and the fact that Bungie's been like on dire straits for so long, it's just like, that's sad, man. I'm sure they'll be fine, but
what's the next game anyway?
Well, I guess the news is they're not working on a Destiny 3. They're just going to keep working on Destiny 2, which is really just Destiny ultimately, because a lot of I wish they would get rid of the 2 and just call it Destiny again, but they're just going to keep working. And then they're working on this multiplayer game called Marathon. It's like kind of
because that's part of the issue. Is it's like, okay, so Destiny 2, no matter how good it is,
they need a new game.
With each expansion, you lose a couple. You lose some players, and
they need a new game. They need a new game.
You're never going to eclipse the number of players you had when you first release.
Right.
It's always going to be some subset of that, and maybe it's 5 or 10% per release, and then it gets to the point. They've tried to address it by giving them away to PlayStation Plus users, but.
Well, so anyway, Marathon's the game they announced. Well, Marathon is their next big kind of multiplayer looter shooter game thing. I think it's an extraction shooter, but that's a similar type of game. They're taking a property they used to work on way back in the day. Marathon's this old
yeah, because
game.
they released it, didn't they, on the
Yeah.
original one?
Yeah,
on
old
the
school. So they have a
Steam or
new
something.
school version of that happening. And I guess they were working on a third game, but they just don't have the money to work on it. So they actually gave it to Sony, and then a lot of these people that are working on it are going to Sony to work on it. So,
Yeah.
and it's going to become a Sony game and not a Bungie game. And then so Bungie's only going to be doing Marathon and Destiny, and whatever this third property was may or may not happen at all. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you stop and think about it, I mean, Halo, obviously, that's what they, became really famous for. Obviously, they did games before that, but
Right.
Halo 1 and Halo 2, and then I think it's since 2007, they've done nothing but Destiny. I mean, gosh.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's
Really?
amazing. Like, when you stop and think about it. I mean, even Steam's probably put out more games. Well, not more games, but more new properties since then.
But then
You
it
know.
really is worrying because, like, what was it? Has it been 2 years since Sony acquired them?
Yeah.
So then it's probably been another 3 or 4 years that they've been just suffering. So, I mean, even though Lightfall is, like, kind of wasn't very good, that wasn't, like, 4 years ago. It just been a slow decline like you're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
they need to release a new game. Like, you can only last, like, even World of Warcraft obviously didn't last forever. Like, they had to, like, I mean, it's still out there, but, like, Blizzard had to
you'll always
release
have
new
your-
games, you know? You have to
Yeah.
release new games.
You'll always have your player base for certain games.
Right.
Or not always, but there'll always be a group of people that want to play them, but there is going to come a point where it's not financially viable to release new content necessarily. And
For only one game, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just kind of interesting. Like, you kind of see the door opens and you just kind of see, oh, it's been not doing so hot. And, I mean, they're a huge company now, too. They weren't always this big, you know? I mean, obviously they scaled up, so, you know.
I also wonder if it'll just degenerate into a bunch of lawsuits, because there's got to be a bunch of people at Sony's, maybe I don't know if Bungie misled Sony as to what their financial situation was.
I don't think so.
know.
I think they told Sony. I have a feeling that, like, they needed Sony, and I think that's all part of it.
I also think part of it is they need, but that's what I mean. That's why they misled him. But I also think the other option was to be bought up by Microsoft.
Well,
It's
I mean,
like-
Sony's not stupid. I mean, Sony was looking for people to do back end on all these other games, probably like Helldivers and all these, like, other multiplayer games that they were like, hey, you know,
Yeah, there is a lot.
you guys have this
talent,
really strong
experience.
infrastructure talent. You know, we're gonna buy you up, for Destiny, but also for your talent to, like, help us with these other games. You know, I think Sony. I mean, I doubt that they pull.
And
I think
that
I-
stuff's not sexy, and it's like you can't put it on the bottom line, but by the same token, it does affect the bottom line.
I have a
If you
feeling
know
that
what I mean.
Bungie did not want to go back to, I mean, Microsoft, but, like, because
Yeah.
Bungie with Xbox and then all the, I just don't, you know, they left Halo not in the best.
Yeah,
They weren't,
Yeah.
you know, and I think Sony allowed them to, like, hey, your game can still be multi-platform. You guys can still release multi-platform games. We want to use you to help us build our infrastructure in our multiplayer games. We'll bail you out, but it sounds like it's gotten worse. Like, the Final Shape isn't, like you said, isn't the big hit they were hoping, even though I think it's awesome. I think it's...
Well, I mean, the reviews are really good.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. But it's just like no one's playing it. No one's
Yeah.
playing it. Like Tony Death, who huge. I don't think he bought it. You know. I don't
Yeah.
think. As we talk about him in the.
It could be quite a sad end to it's quite a storied company, kind of like BioWare, though. You know.
Oh, sure, for sure. That's even that's sad too. But at least even if Bungie goes out, they went out on a high note. If BioWare
Yeah.
goes out on Anthem, that's a sad note,
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
it's a fun game, but it wasn't a great game, It's
Yeah. I have a feeling they'll go out on Marathon if they
we'll
if they
see. I
break
mean,
down.
yeah.
I mean,
I don't
I
think
think the
anyone wants
problem is,
Marathon. I mean,
I think,
Marathon looks cool, but I don't think anyone's really into the extraction shooter thing. So I don't. That's a very concerning game. I don't know.
I think that's part of the issue too. Is you've got all these companies all trying to chase Fortnite basically, or Call of Duty,
Or some
and I
kind of
mean,
seasonal like,
yeah,
something that
revenue
keeps
stream.
revenue
Yeah,
stream that keeps paying. Like it's not just you release a game, make money. It's
yeah,
you release a game, make money, but then continue to make money.
yeah. You can put a few people creating new skins and
Right.
maps, and then you just like rake in
But none of
the
these games are
profit.
going to be like Helldivers, where like that's like a flash in the pan. Like that's or that's like Fortnite. Like that's like those are like lucky things. Those don't happen to everybody. You can't
Yeah,
force that.
yeah. It's like it's a combination of luck and skill. I mean, Helldivers did well partly because it released at a quiet time and
Plays
there
well,
wasn't. Yeah, it plays well.
had their
Having
own
said that, I
issues,
don't think
but
I've played that though since June.
it's
So in
true. But like I
July.
still see fucking shit on my feed about Helldivers. Like
Yeah,
there's still some buzz about it. It's still happening. There's still some stuff. So there's still
I
people.
mean, last time I checked in, there were like 60,000 people playing it. I mean, at its
That's.
peak, it was only 100 and it might be 160,000, but that's still a good number.
Hmm. I mean, that's what Rocket League has surfed off on
Yeah.
for so long. Anyway, I just thought
Yeah.
I would touch on that because this weekend, last night, Saturday night, I got as many of the guys I could get together in a short notice to kind of celebrate my birthday. So we played video games for what was like 7 hours almost,
Yeah, I
from
think
7 to 2 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning. I was pretty tired. Yeah.
We were anyway. We don't always do this. Sometimes we kind of play once in a while for a couple hours, but like we got together, just kind of like fuck it. And,
I think the other thing that helped, we did a little bit of pre-planning, so we'd
Yeah,
all mostly downloaded stuff
everything.
and updated it.
Right.
You know,
So
nothing like that 60 gig Fortnite update to
right.
put a break on the proceedings.
So we got everyone together, and we played some video games. We played a bunch of things, and because we were talking about Destiny, we started off with Destiny. So we were playing, just it. I mean,
Yeah.
as much as you don't play it, I mean, at the same time, you can walk into it, Dave, right, and just play it.
Yeah, I didn't particularly care for the Gambit too much. I didn't really feel like I was affecting much on that one. I enjoyed the Crucible, even though we were losing badly until the last game.
We did
It was still-
We did win a game.
it took me a while to remember. You don't run in and capture the flag. You kind of snipe around it, and then you can capture it. But it was pretty fun. So
But the game plays great.
yeah,
Like,
it feels good.
I
I like the waves we did as well.
Oh, the
where you
onslaught
got,
was
like-
fun.
Yeah,
Yes,
onslaught
that was fun.
that was pretty fun. Yeah.
And the cool thing is you're always earning shit, I think. I think other games, a lot of times in games, you're not really earning stuff. You're kind of grinding and not really getting anything important. I feel like in Destiny, at least you're earning shit, usable shit. They're handing out stuff that you can use. I don't know.
I think the other thing it did really well was I didn't, because my player's not very leveled up or anything like that, but I definitely felt it like the reason I was doing badly was not because I didn't have the right gear and shit. It was just because I haven't played the game for a
Right.
long time and I'm rusty at it. It was
Right.
like I felt like, okay, if I played this a bit more, I could actually, get pretty decent at it.
Right.
They did
No.
a very good job of balancing the levels.
Right. I love Destiny. I've been playing it a lot. Just to speak differently from last night, recently I finished season or Act 2 of the current season. I've been playing a lot of Destiny. I am back in it so hardcore. I think I'm about 140 some hours in now. Like I think honestly I'm gonna give Final Shape. It's gonna be on my games of the year list. I am so back into it. I love it so much. I don't know why. I don't know. after figuring everything out and know how everything works, after spending the time to just like take the time to fuck around and like deal and learn and figure out stuff, now playing the game, it's like old hat, and I just having a lot of fun with it. I just really enjoy it, and I'm just really, I like it when, it's not one of those games now where like when Jarrod pops on, it's like, oh, I don't want to play this because I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. I'm even playing with randos again. Like at first when I started getting back into it, I felt bad about playing because I was like, oh, I'm just going to fuck up if I play like a strike with them because I don't know any of the strikes, But now I'm at the point where like I'm pretty comfortable in my skill and all this stuff that, I'm just really enjoying it, and I'm glad I got back into it. And so that's why it makes me sad about the news, but I'm having a lot of fun.
I think my attitude was it's like golf. I can see why people really enjoy golf.
Right.
But the amount of time I'd have to put into it to get good enough at it.
So or just get reacquainted with all of it.
I just don't feel like I want to put that amount of time in, if that makes sense.
Right. 100%. No, I get it.
I think that's where I am with Destiny. It's not that I can see there's a great game there and all the rest of it. I'm just not... I'm not willing to put in the time, invest the time,
and that's cool. I'm glad you were willing to put up with how much we played of it to begin with. Honestly,
I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I was just like,
I like being punished. I know Jarrod, people. I mean, I get down on losing all the time, but there's something I like. I don't know. I don't mind
little victories. If I kill 2 people this round instead of 1 the last round. Then that's a kind of a win sometimes, isn't it?
So then when we play after that, we played. Well, we wanted to try We wanted to try X Defiant, but some of the guys hadn't installed it. Dave installed a different game on accident, not that game. So we did play a round of Fortnite, 4-player Fortnite. All of us except Nick had played Fortnite, and we thought we were doing really well until we realized they just put us in a giant bot lobby. Like I thought, usually there's some other players, but there was literally
it was the strangest thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was because there's no teams of 4 out there playing it.
Maybe
right now,
there's got to be.
Because it just put us all in, and it was like, okay, we killed the first guy, and we're like, oh, okay.
What is he shooting at, and why is he not hitting me?
Yeah.
It was fun. It's kind of sad that Nick still died, even though there were no people actually shooting. I don't know. That would be just the first of Nick's frustrations in the evening. Anyway, that was a fun playing Fortnite. I will say this. Ryan said it was funny. Ryan was like, you don't want to fucking lead them through Fortnite. That's such a headache for you. And I say, yeah, probably you're right. But we ended up playing it anyway, and it wasn't that bad because it was all bots. But I still like Fortnite. I think it's a fun game. Anyway,
it is a fun game. It's like, again, that's like, I've not played enough of it, but that game's a bit more luck anyway. So when I do play it, I don't feel out of my depth. It's more just sometimes you get lucky and you get the jump on the other guy.
It's also kind of funny because I did buy the season pass for Rocket League this season because I wanted a car, and in my Fortnite it unlocked all this fucking shit because I forget that Rocket League is now a part of the Fortnite conglomerate. So all this stuff is just like, what is all this stuff? And I got all these cars unlocked to race in the Rocket League racing thing and all this stuff. So it's such a weird machine.
Mashup, really.
It is. It's weird. But that was fun. We should have played more of it, but we wanted to play X Defiant because I wanted to try X Defiant with the group. That didn't go over that well. I mean, we had some fun. That was rough, though.
Yeah, I really did not like the stupid escort the robot
mission sucked. Yes.
Yeah, we had trouble with that, and then the levels, because we don't know the levels, some of them are really big, and so you'd be better off with long range weapons like.
And none of us have weapons that are leveled up. We have no gear that's leveled up. So everyone else in that is just like fucking destroying us.
They know the map. They know they're coming around the corners, and it's just. I did feel like I got better at it after the first couple of rounds.
Jarrod definitely got better. Dude, Jared like talking mad shit about the game, but like towards the end, man, he had like 17 kills. I mean, he was like
Yeah,
fucking
he was
owning
kicking
it. Like
off, yeah.
if he was playing not with us, he'd probably be doing pretty well.
I mean, I was about level with you, to be quite
Oh yeah,
honest,
100%.
which I
I
felt pretty
sucked.
good about, because you play more of these games, type games.
I do
anyway.
play more of them, but I've only played X-Defiant for like a couple hours. But yeah,
True, but I'd never played it before, so I was like, okay, if I'm keeping
yeah,
up with Ian and he's
I
had a game
sucked.
of it.
I just fucking sucked. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that game. It's actually fun. It's a pretty good shooter. There is some glitchy shit and some stuff. I don't like the melee attack. I think the melee attack's stupid. But yeah, you're just kind of getting owned by the people that live in that game.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that it didn't do a very great job of balancing.
Right. Well, that's the other thing though. There's 4 of us in the group, so it can only balance around this group of 4 that want to play together. So even if we all suck, the good players have to go.
Yeah,
The mostly good players. They're gonna stick 2 good players with us,
I
and then
felt sorry
6
for the
good
people that got
six
stuck
good
with us.
players on the other team. So it's like it's basically I don't know. Anyway,
Although I did feel like once I got a little, like 30 seconds into a level, and I changed my loadout, like if it was a close quarters level, change it to a shotgun.
I mean there were some
and then
games that were
start
kind of
going around
close.
corners. Yeah,
That weren't the fucking escort. The escort mission is garbage, man. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
But
It did start to feel like it was getting a bit better. And then the other thing was we were playing on the welcome playlist, and I'm like,
that's true.
and the levels they just didn't feel special.
It's a free to play game by Ubisoft. They released it this
Yep.
year. It's kind of basically you
Take all the characters.
you
from
could
the
say it's Call of
properties,
Duty,
yeah.
but it's really just like a competitor against Overwatch. Overwatch is probably the game we should have played because I think Dave and I did
Yeah.
better in Over. I mean, Dave and I have played a few games of Overwatch, and we did pretty
Definitely
well.
it felt like Overwatch with trying to be more photorealistic, and
Right.
with Ubisoft characters,
And I think
especially that escort mission.
right.
But Overwatch does that escort mission a lot
Way better. It's a little more compact. It's not
Yeah.
wide open spaces, and everyone's the sight lines
Yeah,
are a bit
because you
different.
can't escort it once it gets stuck in the middle of this open area where basically
just
anyone can shoot you
gangbang.
360 around you. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
There's no cover.
Right.
No.
Maybe that's the game we should have played. That might have been more fun
Yeah.
actually, but oh well.
well.
Hindsight's
There was a
2020.
shudder.
And then we decided to bail on that, and then what? We played Rocket League for the rest of the night. Is that what we did?
Yeah, I was doing pretty well last night on Rocket League.
I think we all did pretty well, except poor Nick. I mean, Nick did well, and then he did awful.
Yeah.
Is kind of where
That's
he was
Rocket
at.
League though, isn't it? You and I have been like, oh, we'll just play. We'll play until we win one, and we've played like 10 matches, and not one.
But the thing, here's the first thing I will say about this. What the fuck, Rocket League? Getting rid of 4v4 chaos mode. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck, dudes? That can't
We
be that
logged
big
in
a
and we were
deal
like,
on
"Come on."
servers. Yeah, we logged in hoping we could like play some other randos, and we couldn't.
I've got to guess that no one was playing
I
it.
guess.
Maybe.
But like, what does that matter? You can still keep it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, we'd be waiting forever. for
Yeah,
that.
that's possibly true. So then we just ended up playing 2v2 against each other in a private match, and that was fun. We had a lot of fun with that. I mean,
Yes.
it was a lot of fun.
cycling round, and it's interesting to see how the different play styles like
How certain people
help
work well
or
and
hinder
don't
each
work.
other.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you're definitely goalie, and I'm definitely more attack centered, and Jared and Nick are more in the middle.
Towards the end of the night, Nick was just kind of just driving from one end to the other. It felt like, just like zoom zoom. But yeah,
He
I
still
don't.
won some when he was on my team.
I think we all won quite a few. I mean,
that was-
respectively, there was never really I mean, even when I was on Nick's team a couple times and we won. We lost quite a few times. I was on Jared's team. We lost a couple times. We
Yeah.
won a few times. I was very even, really, ultimately. But
It was fun. And then the other thing I saw, which kind of made me laugh a couple of times, was the other team had more points.
but
but
yeah.
lost.
Yeah, so there's a couple times where Jared and we were on the team together, and we kept losing, but collectively we had more points than the other team. Like
Individually, you had more
individually
points than
even.
like I did.
It's
It
just
was
we
like,
were working so much harder, but still just losing.
yeah, there was definitely a correlation between number of shots and goals scored.
Right.
Seems to be about three or 4 to 1, if you know what I mean. Or at least on that when
But
we were
it
playing.
it also just speaks to just how awesome that game is and how it's still just a really
Yeah.
solid. Like that game never really has to upgrade itself. Really,
No, it's fun.
it's evergreen. It's always going to be fun. It runs. I mean, when we first started playing it way back in the day, there'd be some light leggy, stuff
Yeah,
here
it
and
used to have
there.
some like weird graphical glitches and
We used
stuff.
to have a lot
Especially on,
more connection issues.
I'm so glad they got rid of that dust level. It was like really
But now it'd probably
big.
work fine. Now I don't know. It'd
Yeah,
probably run fine at this point. We have stronger hardware. I don't know. Yeah, that game is just perfect. It's like the perfect game, really. You're
yeah.
gonna have fun unless you hate
still
cars
play it.
and soccer. I mean, Jarrod hasn't played in forever, and he's always like worried, like I don't know, I haven't played this in forever. It's like it's fine, Jarrod. You'll have fun, and everyone's having fun. Everyone's drunk and laughing and have bullshitting with each other and jabbing each other. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's funny when you think you're doing really well and then someone just nails it from the kickoff and scores.
Exactly. It's great. There are some interesting. It's funny. There is something interesting, Dave. Like a lot of time when we just play together, we play ranked, so we're in like general
Mhm.
kind of. There's a lot of like in the unranked private stuff. There's all these like kind of arenas that are just wildly different. There's the
Yeah, they're not
hourglass
like-
one and the pillar. That other one with like the giant sidewalls and
They have
there's
like
like a
pillars
round.
in the middle of the field.
It's like a round arena. Yeah, it's just like some crazy.
Or they have like a second level behind, or the goals are out from the wall, hockey style.
And those, oh yeah, that shit. I mean that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of kind of crazy shit that like it's kind of fun to play those, but you would
Yeah.
never want to compete in those. Like
No,
that's
it
why
would
they're
take
not
a
in ranked.
lot.
It's like those would be obnoxious. That's just
Yeah, it
becomes-
takes a lot to get very good at them.
Yeah, but it was interesting. I actually thought that was really cool, like playing those levels. I know we were talking about like but like it's kind of fun trying some new stuff. It's like
Yeah.
it mixes it up. I don't know.
But yeah, I enjoyed that game. That game's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we played that until like I think we started playing it like 11:30 or 12, and then we played that till like 2 o'clock in the morning. So
Yep. Yeah.
and then that was it. So that was like I think Dave joined us late. I think Dave joined around 8, but like we had started playing.
Yeah, I was going to be 7, but
I think
rolled
Jarrod
over
and
a
I
bit.
started at 7, and so from 7 to 2 o'clock in the morning, it's like well, that's a lot of video games. I didn't play video games at all today.
Yeah, I switched it on and the Rocket League screen came up and I was like, yeah, nah, I don't need to play that right now.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad all you guys we hung out together. We
Yeah.
we don't really do that anymore, really.
No.
Yeah. Or at least a bunch of us anyway. I mean, occasionally it'll be a couple of us playing late, but yeah.
Yeah. It's because we're all on different schedules as well. It's like, I like to try and go to bed 10:30, and Jared's just starting usually at that time.
Right.
Because he needs like 4 hours sleep or whatever it is. So,
I mean, I don't know. It's been almost like 3 weeks since we've talked last. Have you played anything else that wasn't those games lately? Or are you just not looking at video games right now?
I played Oh No More Lemmings.
Oh, okay.
that was actually quite fun, but it was weird. It was like it went from the first, I think it was 10 levels were easy, to get you into what the different lemmings do, and then it just suddenly went vertical. Like you have to click on this lemming and you've got like a split second to do it, otherwise you miss your opportunity. And I was like, so I played that.
Is this when your computer when you're
Yeah, I was playing that on the Atari ST. Then, what else did I play? Played a bit of APB, which I'd never really played, but I remember playing years ago. That was kind of fun.
Is
but
this
it
that
was
free-to-play
very
one?
dated. No, this is not again another older game
Oh,
on the
okay.
Atari ST. So it came out in the 80s, and it's you're a police officer and you run around trying to arrest people or give
All
them
right.
speeding tickets and stuff.
There's another
And
game called APB that was like more recent, like free to play, and you're just like a punk and you run around just killing. It's like Grand Theft Auto, but like
yeah,
there's no fucks given. It's just fucking wild. It's the Wild West.
and then on the list of games, I saw an old game called Sex Vixens from Outer
Oh,
Space. I
that
think
sounds
it was.
awesome.
It was terrible.
Oh
It
God.
was such a disappointment because, like, you've got really bad artwork, or not really bad artwork, but you've got like sexy 80s kind of laser gun wielding chicks, and then you get into it, and it's like the screen. It's one of those old adventure games, and there's a screen, and you can go left or you can go to the bridge, or it's just like I couldn't figure out what was going on. Just like nope.
I hate
I
those
didn't
games.
think I wasn't expecting a lot of it, to be quite honest. But
Did
it
you
was
just
just kind
download
of
that
funny.
stuff and then put it on like a thumb drive or something, or what do you?
Oh, this Atari's awesome. I bought this little card, and it's got a Raspberry Pi on it,
Oh, okay.
and you plug it into it, and it connects to the Wi-Fi,
Oh,
and then goes out on the web, and there's a, a kind of FTP server that's got all the games on it,
oh, that's
and so
rad.
it just gives you a list of it, and you go find the game you want that you're interested in, press the button. It takes about 5-10 seconds to download it, and then you restart it, and it loads up.
Oh, that's
So.
rad. That's
And you can
cool.
get pretty much every game that they ever made for the computer. So I've got quite a few retro computers, but that's the only one that is like
Super easy.
that super convenient. Yeah, the others you have to either find like a download of all the ROMs, or you have to and put it on the card, and if it's not on there when you want to play it, then you have to go out and find it.
Right.
Whereas this, it's like, oh, you just connect in, and
And that's the one you just bought, right? Or just got acquired?
yeah, someone gave it me for free.
Oh,
So
that's
it's like,
nice.
yeah, the price was right. I looked at buying one a while back and bringing one back from the UK, and I'm still might, just because this one's NTSC, and a PAL one would be nice because that's where most of the games were made in Europe. But
Gotcha.
I mean, when I looked at them, they were going for about 100 bucks or so. Oh, 100 pounds or $130. So
Not too bad.
not too, yeah, not unaffordable, if you know what I mean. Especially, it's not like buying an
Chump
old
change for a
Nintendo.
collector.
Nah, but I mean,
Right.
you can get all those games. Whereas, like, you go out and buy an old Nintendo. If you could buy the Ever cartridge, I suppose, or the Ever
Can
whatever
you
they
just
call it.
download them all though to the Raspberry Pi and not worry about them, or with another
Yeah,
card, basically, or does it
yeah,
matter?
you can set it up, and I was trying to do that, and I haven't figured out quite how. But you can set it up as a hard drive on there, and have everything on the hard drive.
Gotcha.
I just ran out of time before I was messing with it to kind of try and figure it out.
We all have too many things going on that we don't
I
need
know.
these
That's why I like going.
distractions.
There's a retro computer group we get together once a month, and it's just like
Shout them out. What are they? What are they?
actually there's the Commodore users group. Yeah, it's the PDX CUG Commodore users group,
Hmm?
and then there's another one, but that one's more invite only. So
Gotcha.
uh,
But if you're into it, they'll probably invite you.
oh yeah, there are people. I mean, you get an invite, you just have to show up to the meeting. Show
Right.
up to the meeting because they've had
What are
issues.
okay? I have a
People
question.
anyway.
What are the meetings? Is it just guys playing video games, or you guys actually talk about like things, or
Basically, usually there's a couple of people bring stuff. If you've got issues or you're trying to fix something, there's usually someone there who at least knows something about it. And then also people just acquire stuff from all over the place. So if you need like a particular card or component for a broken one, there's usually someone there who, even if they don't have one, knows where you can get one.
it's not
That
just
kind
a
of
bunch of
stuff.
old men in a circle drinking beer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not as much beer drinking as you'd think, actually. But yeah,
Gotcha. I'm
usually
curious.
just
I'm
meet at the
curious.
round table. It's like, please.
Put your swords down. Sir Russell, what do you have for us this evening? None
Yeah,
of that.
usually just there's usually about 5 to 10 computers there, and if you're interested in something, you can play it or play a game or just see what's going on.
Is it held at like a community center or at someone's house or
A pizza place.
pizza
Yes.
place? Gotcha.
Right
All
now, it used to be the local fire station had a community room that
Oh,
you could book.
or like an
but
Elks Lodge or some kind of
I
thing.
think
Like,
they've
yeah.
just about I think they're opening up here this next month from COVID. I mean, that's how long
Gotcha.
it's been.
Oh wow. Yeah, there you go. That's cool. Cool.
But yeah, it's cool just to get out and like hang out with people, and the knowledge base there is amazing. Like if you need something soldering and you can't solder, or a part, because most it's like when I've fixed a few things, I've had to buy like 5, minimum buy was like 5 of these chips, and you need like 1 chip, so you've got 4 of them. It's
Right.
like these are all these computers are getting old, they're all like 30, 40 years old, so most of them do need something doing to them.
Right. Cool. All
But,
right. Anything else you played?
no, that's about it really, just the retro stuff.
All right. Well, I have a couple things. First thing, I beat the Expanse Telltale game.
Oh, how was that? I was gonna.
I think it's awesome. I think if you're okay, I was under the impression that it was like a sequel. It is not a sequel. I was kind of lost at first. I was like, "What?" But like at the end, you kind of realize that it's not. It's a prequel to the show. So if you've
Oh wow.
so it comes before. It's it stars drummer. So that's it has all the voice actors that were in the show, whatever little part they have, they're a part of it. And it's 5 episodes if you buy the basic version. If you buy the special bundle,
Yeah,
it's
deluxe
has
or whatever
a
they call it.
bonus episode. Anyway, the main 5 episodes, I think the story is awesome. I think it's super. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I don't know what to say. I love The Expanse. If you're an Expanse fan, I think this is like a no-brainer. I think it's fun.
In which case, I might have to get it because I don't know. You can see over there. There's all the Expanse books. There's like 9 or 10 of them.
I think
I'm up to number 7 or something.
It was just super cool to be back in that world and live in that kind of thing, and the grab boots and the ships and the burns and and being spacing people, and I don't know. It's just super cool. I might play through it again someday because back in the day, getting through a Telltale game, you could platinum it like in one pass. This one's not built that way. You kind of have to you make your choices, and then you might have to, I don't know. Or maybe if you really followed a guide, maybe you could platinum it in one go through. I didn't do that. I just played through it just to have fun and enjoy it. So, but it's really different. It has this kind of space feel where you kind of fly around, and I don't know. It's super cool. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super cool. And then I think the special edition is worth it because I think the bonus episode, even though very basic and simple in its execution, because you play as the senator of the United States. What's her name? I forget what her name is right now. She has some out. I don't know, that lady, the Indian lady plays her,
the one who
Pakistani lady, but she's also voiced by her in this. I forget what her name is. This is like before all the shit goes down. Anyway, that episode is super cool too. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a lot of fun, and so I would recommend the whole bundle with the bonus episode. But if you're cheap and you don't want to that's fine. I don't care. But I think it's all worth it. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. It was perfect. So I played some of it on my sitting in front of my PlayStation in my big TV, and then I played the rest of it on my Portal upstairs. Perfect for the Portal. Such a good, really great way to play a video game. That kind of video game.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I imagine the Portal is great for Telltale games in general. Yeah.
Yeah, I can wake up in the morning, have my tea. I sit there, the dog sits next to me, and we just kind of sit there for like 2 hours, go through 2 episodes. It's just like, this is perfect. This is like awesome. Each episode's about an hour, So it's like it's a short game, really. I mean, so 5 hours, 6 hours. You could probably blast through them faster if you just wanted to get through it. Like, anyway, whatever. It's Telltale, but I really enjoyed it. It's been on sale quite a few times. I'm sure it'll be on sale again in the future. You can probably get it for pretty cheap.
Yeah,
I think I got it. I think I got it for. I think I got it for $17.99, the whole bundle.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, really enjoyed it. Thought it was awesome. So that's my beat list. Full recommend. I mean, it's 100% recommend if you're an Expanse fan. If you're just into those type of kind of adventure games, then it's a recommend. But if you have no idea what I'm fucking talking about, maybe you just need to turn a blind eye.
Maybe you need to download one of the free Telltale games.
Or maybe you need to watch The Expanse and then figure it out. And then, so I guess it's about 5-6 years ago, I played this game from Airship Syndicate called Battle Chasers Night War. It was an American company, but they were making a Japanese turn-based game. And I really liked that game. It was probably on my best of that year. It was a great game. It was about 50 hours. A little long. Wow. Probably should have been shorter. But it was a fun kind of turn-based. I'm not into turn-based games. Like, if anyone knows Ian, he's not really not something I'm super into. But I really like this game. Joe Mad, who used to be a comic book artist, got into game design. So a lot of the designs are his artwork style. So, and Battle Chasers was a comic he used to work on. So it was kind of like this weird comic book game, but not. Anyway, they've worked on a lot of other games, Darksiders, and anyway, a bunch of stuff. Anyway, they were commissioned to do a game for Riot Games. It was another turn-based game based off the League of Legends characters called Ruin King, and that came out in like 2022, I want to say. Anyway, and I've always wanted. It's another game like Battle Chasers Night War, but I just hadn't got around to playing it. And I thought, well, now with the Portal, it would be yet another game that would be perfect for the Portal. So it was on sale last week or 2 weeks ago, and I picked it up and started playing it again. Or I started playing it, and so what was cool about Battle Chasers, even though it was a JRPG, it had a really fun, kind of cool battle mechanic that I really liked. So that's why I stuck with it. I really enjoyed it, had fun with it. So Ruin King takes that battle mechanic, but then changes it up a bit. So League of Legends is a game where you have lanes, like it's a MOBA, and you stay in your lane. Well, this really... It doesn't really have anything to do with that, but they have lanes within the battle mechanic, which I find So the battle mechanic's been elevated by these lanes. One is it'll speed it up, but less damage. One is the basic lane, which is normal damage, and then there's one that's the power lane, slows it down, but you have tremendous damage, and the timing shifts. Like the power lane takes longer, so you might get hit more. But then you're going to destroy them in one hit. So there's all this kind of risk-reward built on these lanes. I don't know. Again,
just tickles your brain.
Well, I just thought it was interesting because I really liked the previous game, and I was curious how they were going to like kind of grow their battle mechanic. And this whole lane thing is super cool. Anyway, so I've been playing that I've only got about 2-3 hours into that so far, but really digging it. That's what I've been playing. That's what the next game. I think it's quite a bit shorter because I'm already like 12% through the story. So I think the game is quite a bit shorter than their previous JRPG game they did, which is cool. I mean, I liked the other game, but there was a lot of grinding in it. I don't feel like there's going to be quite as much grinding in this one. But so I've been playing that. I look forward to beating that, within the month or so. But that's what. Aside from everything else we talked about tonight, that's the other game I've been playing. In the last week, so
nice,
exciting,
woo!
All right, I think that's all the video games I had, all the news, I did want to say one thing. I had this. I know Dave's kind of. You're not really looking towards any new video games coming out, are you? Really, you're not really interested. There's nothing really new coming out.
It's more so much I haven't spent any effort looking at what's coming out recently.
Gotcha.
I'm like, yeah.
Well, I I'm super excited. At August 30th, at the end of this month, I'm really excited for the Star Wars Outlaws game, the open world Ubisoft Star Wars game. That is something I'm super excited to talk about on the show, something I'm super excited to play. Everything's been kind of mixed. Some people like, nah, some people like, yeah, it's all over the place. But if you like Assassin's Creed type games, this is going to be a game you're going to love. So I'm looking super forward to it. And
I hope it's good. I'm just so like off Disney Star Wars that it's like I'm not expecting much.
I don't think it follows any Disney Star Wars stuff. It's like its own
No,
Star Wars
but
thing.
everything Star Wars has touched recently, I've just not really cared for.
I just
Video
think
game or
all the previews and stuff, like if you've ever wanted a game where you inhabit Star Wars, this has been this is that game. Like
Yeah.
the gameplay is pretty simple and basic. Like simple shooting, simple stealth. Like that's just very simple open world stuff. But the environment and inhabiting being in a Star Wars world and busy, not like where you walk around there's nothing in it. There's like this bustling world of like scoundrels and gambling and like because it's outlaws. It's not.
hopefully
has nothing.
it'll feel like a full real world.
Has nothing to do with Jedis. It has to do with Anyway, I'm super stoked for this. Comes out the 30th. I'm going to. This is going to be a pretty big game I talk about on the show at that point. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I wanted to put. I don't know. This is something I wanted to put out there. Hey, listeners, we don't always play a lot of new stuff, but I will be playing this game. So if you have any interest in Star Wars Outlaws, I'm going to be playing this. So, yeah. All right. That's it for video games. Dave, do we have any couch co-optionals you would like to recommend to the people?
I have been listening to a little bit of music recently.
A little bit?
Really enjoying this Polish prog band called Riverside.
Okay.
I really like Wasteland. It's one of my favorite albums, and
they've been
got
around
a good
for a while.
Groove to them. Yeah, they've been around since like the early 2000s. They're not a new band, and so I'm just enjoying that. And if you like that kind of groovy, kind of hard rock, metal-y,
kind of stonery.
No, they more kind of remind me of like Deep Purple or something, kind of like 70s rock kind of sound, but I really enjoy it. And so,
okay. How'd you find out about them?
Amazon Music just started playing them after I was someone else I was listening to, and it was like, oh, I kind of like this. I found a couple of artists recently actually where it's like I've been listening to something and it's I've listened to an album and then it plays like, if you like this you might like this, and it's like, oh, I actually do like that. So
cool.
Yeah, the algorithm is real. It just keeps feeding me stuff I like.
It's funny, you're right, 100%. Like even on Spotify, I feel like my listening choices, the algorithm is pretty on it. But like tonight I was sitting there grilling salmon and fucking on my they have this playlist called the Discover playlist, which is supposed to be the playlist that it puts together for me every month. And I haven't listened to it in a while. So this month I listened to it, or I guess weekly. It's called the Discover Weekly. Anyway, so weekly it does it. So this week's playlist I haven't listened to. And all the music's been pretty heavy and kind of edgy and emo or like stoner, and it's like, and then fucking Smash Mouth Walking on the Sun starts playing, and I'm like, what is this? What the fuck? What happened to the algorithm on this one? Like what?
Yeah, it does play something like that every.
It's like, sure. I mean, I don't hate that song, but it's just like funny.
I think usually when that happens to me, it's because the wife has been asking it to play stuff as well.
Well, there's always some.
I
There's
get
always
some country music in there as well.
There's always one dumb song I have on my.
On my
playlist. It's like that. It always fucks it.
They like,
right? It's just like, oh, that is probably what happened.
Yeah, it come out of left field. Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Again, what is the name of the band?
Riverside.
Riverside. Cool. All right. How many albums? Do you know how many albums they have? They have quite a few.
Oh, like at least 5 or 6.
All right. Cool. Have you heard them all at this point?
I've listened to most of them. Yeah. I just couldn't name them. I haven't listened to everything they've done. If you know what I mean.
It's funny this day in music, you like come across somebody and you listen to all their albums, but you don't listen to it the same way you used to listen to music. You just listen to it all in this like vacuum, and you just don't really know what album it's off or what the songs' names are anymore. But like, oh, I remember that song. I like that song.
But I did buy one of their albums on
did?
vinyl. So yeah,
CD or vinyl?
vinyl. It came with
Ooh.
a CD.
Oh.
I've leave it in there though. So
Nice.
cool.
That's cool. All right, cool. All right, Riverside. My choice, I'm going to be timely, and I'm not going to be super cool, because everyone's already seen this, because it just came out recently, but I'm going to say, hey, go watch Deadpool Wolverine. It is fucking awesome. I liked it a lot. I've actually seen it multiple times. Anyway. I didn't. I'm not gonna really talk about how I saw it because that's a legality issue, but anyway, great movie. I'm a huge Wolverine fan, and so I pretty much had an emotional breakdown when he put the mask on. I think that sequence, the whole period of time where the mask is on, I've watched like 100 times probably. Probably one of my favorite things I've ever seen. As a comic book nerd, as a comic book geek, if you can look right here, I have like Wolverine right there. Yeah, it was. I don't know, man. I really enjoyed it.
I found it entertaining.
Sure, it's entertaining. It's a fun movie. If you're not,
Yeah.
but for someone like me who's just
I just don't like the alternate timeline stuff. It always
huge-
bugs me in
Oh, wow.
most movies.
I will
It's
say
still
this.
like it
Oh,
was
go ahead.
all a dream storyline, basically. It's
Sure,
like,
sure.
that's what annoys me about it. It
I
really
get.
dilutes what the stakes kind of thing.
And but that's comic books, unfortunately.
Oh, I know. I mean,
Uh,
and they do it in like sci-fi now, and I get why they kind of do it, but it still annoys me.
So my friend Reverend Matt and I do a comic book podcast called Milkman and Reverend, and this week's show we basically broke down the entire we recap the entire film, but we do have this little discussion at the end about like how, because Marvel was never about the multiverse. DC, its whole universe is built off the multiverse. They had a whole event called Infinite Crisis, which dealt with the multiverse. Like their actual verbiage in their comics is the multiverse. Like fans gave Marvel the multiverse title, but that was never a Marvel thing. And I just got to think that DC Comics just fucking hates the fact that like Marvel has somehow taken all of their, stole their shit and is making all this money off of it. It's funny.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Like you and Reverend, who's Deadpool and who's Wolverine?
Oh, well, that's easy. Matt, Reverend, his favorite character is Deadpool, and my favorite character is Wolverine. So that's just
okay.
that's easy.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, no,
there's no fighting over it.
No. In fact, it could be like, yeah. I've been the biggest Wolverine fan. I mean, the first comic book I ever got was Wolverine 62. And I've been a Wolverine fan ever since then. And I have 1,000 million comic books over here. And Reverend loves Deadpool and Green Lantern, both of which Ryan Reynolds has played. So, anyway, I think it's a great movie. Is it the best Deadpool movie? Probably not. But it is the best Deadpool and Wolverine movie. So...
I think I like the first Deadpool the best.
The first Deadpool movie is great.
Yeah.
But I'm all about certain moments in movies, and not like all movies have plot holes and problems. So I'm always about the moments, and the greatest moment is when he puts on that mask, and I think I just about cried. It's the greatest moment.
Thought you were going to say something else, but yeah.
Well, I ejaculate, sure. I came later, Dave. I came after.
That's why you've watched it 1,000 times.
Like when his shirt pops off and I see his like happy trail, that's when I came. But I cried when he put the mask on.
Oh, you're so sweet. You didn't do that when we
when we cuddled in Reno.
Yeah.
You're right, I didn't. Anyway, anything else you would like to chat about, or we can get out of here? I probably should get out of here.
No, I've got a trivia one for you.
Oh, we got trivia. Holy shit! I forget. I always forget. Ian,
And this
I
is a
always forget
really
about
interesting
trivia.
one.
Always forget
It's
about
quick.
it.
It'll be a quick one. What's the best-selling PlayStation 5 video game?
Best-selling PlayStation 5 video game. It's not first party, is it? It's like a third party. Like it's on everything.
No.
Oh, it is a
What'd you
first
think?
party.
Yeah. According to the list on Wikipedia, at least. So we'll, it may be wrong, but
It's probably between like Last of Us or God of War.
yeah, this list must be wrong because God of War's not even on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this list says Marvel Spider-Man 2,
Huh.
with 11 million copies sold, followed by Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart at 3.9 million copies.
God of War
but
2 did not sell more than Spider-Man. I find
yeah, I don't think this is right. I don't think this is right because it's like God of War Ragnarok was a big deal, wasn't it? So
I guess Last of Us 2 is PS4, wasn't it?
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
probably didn't count then. But yeah, God of War 2 has to be up there, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
you'd
I
think
could
so.
see,
And
I could see Spider-Man though being the bigger one.
here we go. Here's a better list. Spider-Man. Or is this for the PlayStation 4? Oh, yep.
I could see Spider-Man 2 though. That makes sense.
Yeah. Actually, this must be for the PlayStation 4. That's the original Spider-Man.
I mean, it's Spider-Man. That's dumb. I should just say Spider-Man 2. For some reason, I think like it cost so much money, so it couldn't have sold that much. But it had to have sold so much to recoup the crazy amount of money it cost to make it.
Yeah. It's.
That makes
I'll
sense.
I'll have to look that up because it's like kind of ridiculous that the God of War isn't on that. Because God of War Ragnarok, I see on another site, sold 15 million.
Did it?
So yeah, it's really it's funny because they used to release figures, but
They're all
They
very
don't seem to anymore.
they're all very like shady about like the digital. They'll
Yep.
sell you. They'll tell you physical, but they won't tell you digitals for some reason.
maybe it is physical, because Ragnarok's up. God of War, although God of War Ragnarok, I've got to imagine sold. I mean, considering on this list they've got EA Sports, FC24.
Well, let's see. I bought God of War Ragnarok. Jarrod bought God of War Ragnarok.
I bought it.
You
My
bought it.
brother-in-law bought it.
I
Aaron
didn't.
bought it.
No one bought Spider-Man except. Did any of us buy? I don't think any of it. I mean, Reverend Matt bought Spider-Man 2. But I don't know anyone else. None of us have played it. Oh, Ryan bought it. But he bought God of War Ragnarok. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So that cancels. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I necessarily trust that list. Actually, I have to put in a bit of thought on it.
After a bit of
'Cause,
thought, Last of Us 2 is a bad choice because like that's all PS4. That's not PS5. I mean, they did remasters, but I don't think they sold as much. So that was a stupid.
Yeah.
That was a drunken misfire. It's either God of War Ragnarok or Spider-Man 2 though.
Yeah, those are the two games that a lot of people have.
Because there wasn't. I mean,
I think Ragnarok's closest to being the game that like everyone who has a PlayStation 5 has a copy of it or is very close, or
I mean,
At
it's
least
soon
one
to
out
be
of two.
dethroned by Grand Theft Auto 6. This will sell on everything for like a bazillion.
well, that was why I
copies.
went with the PlayStation 5 because if you went to PlayStation 4,
It's just Grand Theft.
3, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was all just Grand Theft Auto.
That's gonna be
It's just
wild.
like- yeah,
Are you excited for that?
play it. I'm not like expecting a lot, if that makes sense.
It's just gonna be. It's probably gonna be the same. Just look maybe a little bit better. I don't know.
I think it'll look pretty good. Those games have always been pretty good looking. So
Yeah. I'm actually excited for this one because there's a female lead. So this is the first time I've actually been excited for one.
I haven't actually paid much attention, so it'd be cool to see how it goes.
Anyway, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's blow this popsicle stand.
Well, I want to thank Dave for joining me here on the couch.
I want to thank Ian for joining me here on the couch.
That's right. That's the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah.
For Couch Co-op, I want to remind you to be excellent to each other, or do we do that later? For Couch Co-op, I'm Ian, and that's Dave. For Couch Co-op, be excellent to each other? I don't know I'm not reading my thing, and I'm trying to just do it.
How many times have you done this?
Lots of times. So much so that it's not important that we have to do this.
Let's be excellent to each other. Thank you for listening.
Later, Dave.
And some wild stallions.